Welcome back to Archicad in Minutes. In our previous lesson, we completed the whole layout of our two-bedroom bungalow. Today, we'll continue by learning how to use the door tool and place doors correctly throughout the project. Let's get started. So, coming to our design, we click on the door tool. We can double click from here, and then we have different types of doors under the doors, ranging from empty doors opening. You can scroll it. We have the garage doors. We have the hinge doors. We have the rotating doors. We have sliding doors. We have foldable doors, and then we have storefronts. So in residential, basically, we deal with more of this kind of doors, hinge doors. But you can have some design that warrants you to make use of other designs, like these ones and the likes of these. So now let's click on this, and then we'll come to our settings, preview and positioning. So in this case, this is the width of your door, 900, and then this is the height of your door, which is 2100. So you can adjust this depending on what kind of design you are working on and the preference that you want. So this one, it can range from 2.1, 2.4 meters, 3 meters, 3.3 meters. And then this is a sill story. Sill to story, it means that if our story level, that is our DPC level in this case, is 0, so this one now we factored our screening bed, then plus the tiling, so which amount to 100 millimeter. So by default you will see 100. So this one mistakenly you do it on a different level, so you can relink anchor and then place it to this. But in this case we don't have issue with that. Then this, it depends on how do you want, what kind of door are you dealing with. Is it you want the hinge to be at the extreme end, or you want the kind of hinge that is at the middle? That's for the reveal. For example, if I put 75, you will see that the door lift move to center. So in this case, I don't want it. I want it to be at the extreme end, which is 0. While this one is the placement of the door. Do you want to place it using the center point, or you want to place it by the extreme end or by the right extreme end? So that's the essence of this. And in this, you can view it in 2D, in 3D. So now we are at the floor plan. Then hinge door settings. If you click on this, it will brings you all the parameters, or you can use these arrow keys to move within. So now let's go down to this. In this case, we are going to do the basic simple parameter modifications. So door lift, we are changing it to solid, and then the handle, you have different types of handle, but we are choosing handle for our residential. So we are going to make use of handle 6, and then it's a side home. It means that it opens only one way. It doesn't open two way. If you click on this, it means that it's opening two way. That's the double acting. So it's side home. So this is for your own architrave. So if you want the architrave to be bigger than 40, so you increase it up. So in this case, if you want your door to open in 3D, so you can increase this one to 30 degrees so that the door will open slightly open in 3D, but in 2D is going to be 90. So, and then if you come down to this, here now we are trying to change the material for the door. So by default, the material is this. So we can, since our door material is going to be the same all through in this project, so we are going to change it to mahogany. But you can have some material that the frame is a different color, and then the leaf is a different color. So you have to make sure that you get it right. Then the casing now, these are the architrave. So do you want to with architrave or without architrave? So if you leave it with architrave, then we need to come down here and change the color of the architrave to be the same. And then we are okay with these settings. So with marker, it means that from here you generate your door ID. Whether you are working, you are doing a presentation drawing or a working drawing, there's a way you can control it in view map. But in this case, if you want, we are going to put our door tags. So by default, there's going to be no marker. So you have to come and click this. Are you using door marker or door stamps? So if you click on door marker, it brings these options to life. So you can, for example, click on oval marker position. I prefer it to be at the center, so I will make it 0. Then this one I will make it 0 and uncheck the extension line. Dimension position I'm making it 0. Then show ID. So this one is automatically generated. So show dimension. I don't want dimension, and I'm good. So I'm going back to dimension marker and I'm reducing this to 5. Then under classification and properties, we are going to make sure that our structural function is under null load bearing elements. So and then we click OK. So it's a 900 door. So let's start with kitchen. So if you look at it now, it's giving you an offset from the center of this wall to where it starts. So it's either you do your calculation or you do it my own way, which is I drag it to this and then I offset 75. So that my architecture would be well balanced and then I don't have too much of wall at the end of the day. So I click and I have for this and I drag it up. I have my 75. I click here. I have another 75. So in this case, if I want, I will use mirror. And to mirror the wall now, Control plus Shift, you hold plus M. So, and then I will make sure that there's a node here. And if you look at it from this point to this point, I have my 75. So I believe we are done with the 900 door. So now you click on the blue and then it will take you back to those settings or the previous tool that you pick. So now for our entrance door, we are going to use 1200. So we did it from here, 1200. We are using a single leaf Israel security door. So 75. So mind you, sometimes if you do not click on Control plus D, you will end up stretching your door instead of dragging the door. That's in this case. You end up stretching rather than dragging. So you need to be mindful of what are you doing. Then the other one, we have for our toilet, which is 750. Enter. Then in this case, I'm taking it off 1500. because our shower is going to be somewhere here, our wash hand basin here, and our toilet seat here. So I want it to be at the center. Then we need an opening door here. So we'll go back to our door settings. And then we are going to use empty door opening. And then we click on this. And then we have this at 1800. And then let's come down to casing. So in this case, it doesn't have a casing, but I would like to have a casing both inside and out. And that is, I want to have an architrave, not just an empty door. So I want it with architrave. So I'm going to make sure that I have similar material. Then I will make it. If you look at it, it has an architrave. Then I have it at 1500. Sorry. 1000. Let's have it 2000 because we have a dining there. So now, if you look at it, I mistakenly forget to have a door. I intentionally omit. So in order to, if you go back to your door now, it's going to be under rectangular opening. So how do I need this kind of settings? So I will need to use this tool, pick parameter, and then click on the door that I want, which is toilet door. And it already picks, and then I place it. And then I have my 75 millimeter. So if you want to pick another parameter of a door, you just come here, pick this one, and then we are done. So the last assignment, we are going to introduce these two doors, but I don't need an architrave. So find a way and go about it. This one we have it at 900, while this one is 127 centimeter. So provide for this, and then let's look at it. So I believe today we look at door settings, opening settings, floor plan, dimension markers, dimension styles, and then classification, and then different types of doors, and then how to change the door materials, and then the opening. The opening, so where you have the thicker line, sorry, is where you need to have, I did not explain more about it, but where you have the thicker line is where you have, let's click this, the thicker side is where you have your hinges, not the other way around. It's a big mistake. Where you have your hinges is where your door needs to open. Where you have your hinges is where your door needs to open. So thank you, and see you in our next video where we'll discuss how to place windows and then to change windows materials. Thank you for watching. Archicad in minutes. Learn faster, models matter.